Today we're making churros. Churros is a typical dish that you would find in a Spanish Latin America household. It's typically eaten at breakfast, sometimes throughout the day. They're found on street vendors, and they're either served with cinnamon sugar or with chocolate topping. It's based off of the pata choux dough, which we're going to show you in a minute how to make. Fairly easy. It's a dough that instead of using a leavening agent such as baking soda or baking powder, relies mostly on steam. So it's a few ingredients: flour, water, butter, and eggs to make the steam happen. And we're going to demonstrate this right now with my assistant, my daughter Catherine. So we're going to start right now, and we're going to turn the stove on. We're going to add our water and our butter together. And what we're looking for is for this to melt. So she's going to kind of mix this around for you. You can also add some salt in at this time. Remember, salt always makes everything flavorful. And a little bit of cinnamon. And I'm just making room here, so I'm going to get my stuff out of the way. When you're doing this, it requires a fryer. So if you don't have a fryer at home, we have a fryer right here. If you don't have a fryer, you can use a pan. Remember, oil expands as it gets hotter, so you want to use a pan with deep sides on it. Put your oil about halfway up, or less than halfway, about a third of the way up. Turn it on low, bring your oil up slowly to temperature, probably around 350. And then see where you're at, how high the oil is getting. And then if you think you need a little bit more oil, add some more at that time. But only start with measure your pot, figure out where about a third of the way is, and then find your temperature. You can use a thermometer to see exactly where you're at temperature-wise. So in making the pata choux dough, you want to bring this up to a boil. You want to add your flour to the mixture. We have our fryer going right now. It's at the temperature, it's ready for us. The gluten in the flour will boil and it will gel, and that helps to raise that steam when you add in your eggs. The eggs will help with the steam. So once we have this boiling, we're going to add our flour and cook it for just a little bit. Once the flour goes in, it cooks for just a little bit longer. Keep it going. You can smell it. The cinnamon's giving off a very nice smell. It's all melted. Now once it's all melted, you can add your flour in. Bring this up just a little bit. Okay. Start to add your flour. Okay. You want to add your flour. You can hear that. As the flour is in there, it will cook and it will pull away from the sides of the bowl. Okay. Go ahead, keep going. Okay. You might need to lower it. And you want to cook all the flour till there's no white flour seam. And this is the gelling of the flour. We're adding a little bit of vanilla just for flavor. Okay, it looks good. We're going to turn our burner off. You can see how it's pulled away from the sides. It's basically staying to the middle. Now, when you're adding your eggs, you're going to add them one at a time, because this is when the eggs cook in. This is the same dough you'll use for your eclairs or making your cream puffs. So when you're doing this, you're going to need to kind of judge your eggs content. So in doing of the churros, not so much, but when you're making cream puffs or eclairs, you'll need to judge how your dough looks. So you're going to add your eggs one at a time and continue to mix them. When you're making your churros, in the United States, we see them typically long and with the rigid edges. In different Latin America countries and Spain, they got that look because they come out of a machine and they have those rigid edges. In the Philippines, they come out more circular. Just a little facts. You can add another egg now. If you're making big batches of pate asciutto, you can transfer your pate asciutto to a mixer, and you can put the dough onto the mixer and add your eggs on the mixer. But since we're only adding 3 eggs, we can mix it in by hand. We're going to go with the last one. You can start to see that the dough has changed. It's more pliable. It's easy to move around. And that's exactly what you're looking for in your dough. So the next step you're going to do, you can let your dough just take a rest. This is exactly what you're looking for in your dough to look like. Now, if you are making this to put in an oven, you're looking for, if you wanted to add another egg, you can add another egg. The more eggs you put into the dough, within reason, the higher it will rise, the more steam. When the eggs pop up, the steam in the eggs will help the dough to rise. For cream puffs, for eclairs. We are deep frying this dough, so it's a little bit different for us. So we're going to move over to making our cinnamon sugar, which we're going to take our cinnamon and our sugar, and we're gonna put it into this pan because we're making long, for the churros, we're gonna make long churros. We're gonna put about a cup of sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Here, right, we're gonna mix that around. And this is our pastry bag. You can use a pastry bag, and we're gonna try to imitate that street vendor type look that you would find in Latin America with a star tip. I'm gonna put that through, and we're gonna have our star tip go through here. Okay, so we're gonna pull down the bag here, and we're gonna load our mixture into here. Once you load your mixture in, I'm going to show you how to hold your pastry bag. So once you have your mixture in, you're going to twist it. You're going to kind of hold it like a football, okay? If you can hold. See that? It's all about twisting. You don't want the mix to back up onto you. So you want to hold it, twist, have that kind of football grip on it, okay? I'm going to put this down, and we're going to get ready to open up the deep fryer. Twist this around. You want your cinnamon sugar to look like, almost like sand on the beach. Jersey Beach. As the churros come out, you're going to dip them right into here. So have this right next to your fryer. Okay. And you're going to want to have a scissor right ready to go. You're going to make long. Keep that. Another one. Ready? Okay. You can, in the dough, it's not a hard, it's just, you can see how I'm not putting a lot of effort into it, and it's just coming out. Pair of tongs here, we're kind of bunching up here together. You want to deep fry them, take a look at them. They're getting golden brown, deep fry them. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. How your deep fryer is going. If you're deep frying on a stove, your temperature time is going to be different. So you're going to have to judge how they look. Are they golden brown? Are they not? You're going to have to take a look and see how the product is deep frying, how your churros are looking in the deep fryer. That's a judgment call that you have to make. Okay, they should look nice and golden brown. I can feel the outside edges. They're hardening up. So you know, that's a judgment call that when you look at them, you can see how they're getting that nice, crispy golden brown look. That's how they should look. That's the feel you want to get. Remember, churros, they come in all different kind of sizes. They can be straight, they can be curly. You know, you can put nice. You don't have to also go with the cinnamon sugar. You can put chocolate on them. Even in Portugal, there's potato churros. So there's all variations of different types of churros. So once you get this golden brown look, you're going to put them right into the deep fryer, not into the cinnamon sugar rather. Place it right here. And just go back and forth, and then you can bring them here, here, kind of just move them around.